Hello, everyone. It's me again. I'm back on this channel. Where have I been for the past 1, 2, 3 months? Well, I wish I could say that I was working on important main channel videos. The channel where I produce educational content instead of just nonsense slop about cartoons and movie slop and, internet fuckers. But no, instead, I've been rotting. I've been rotting and doing a lot of watching of stupid nonsense slop because it's really hot in Florida and I was working an awful lot over the summer, and so I was very tired and didn't want to do anything. And if you think this won't happen to you, it will. The heat is coming. The earth is only warming up. And one day, you'll be just like me, spending a good quarter of the year doing absolutely nothing of note. Now that that's out of the way, we can talk about the real subject of this video, something very important and near and dear to my heart. Star Wars Glup Shido. This has probably been one of the worst years for Star Wars as a franchise, due to the release of 2 television shows, one good and one that actually surprised me, and how incredibly shit it was. Earlier this year, the final season of The Bad Batch, a severely underrated show, a spin-off, continuation, whatever the fuck, of The Clone Wars. We all remember The Clone Wars. Good show. Everyone loves it. Except they don't love it anymore because people don't like Dave Filoni anymore. They hate Dave Filoni and they say that he's a pedophile somehow and that he's turned into Marvel. He's turned into Marvel. It's his fault that all the shows are bad now. Just ignore the fact that they all have completely different showrunners. It might just be that the guy who's making the shows more like Marvel would be Jon Favreau. The Marvel guy. He's in the movies. He literally plays Iron Man's concubine, and he directed Iron Man. But no, it's Dave Filoni who made it Marvel. But anyway, voice actor D. Bradley Baker, who you might know as the voice of all the clones, and Perry the Platypus. He voices Perry the Platypus. It's actually true. Look it up. He made a statement, and he said that this show was the end of George Lucas era Star Wars, and he got shat on for this by all of the mouth-breathing Disney shills. But he's right. He's right. It was the last show to have significant influence by George Lucas. The Bad Batch, those characters, they were made by George Lucas. Those were some of the last characters George Lucas ever created. And, that's obviously what he meant. But, it is kind of poetic that it's the last show before you get to this next show. The showrunners say, we're moving away from George Lucas Star Wars. Which, sure, if you want to do your own thing, that's one thing. But they made the show. It's called The Acolyte, and I was actually kind of looking forward to it. The leaked trailer from about over a year ago now, it actually kind of looked good, which is surprising now because apparently all of the footage that was in the leaked trailer was the only good footage of the entire show, because I'm watching the first 2 episodes. I'm like, where the fuck? What happened? Where did all the money go? Because this show cost like $150 million. Where the fuck did this money go? But it's called The Acolyte. And it is an insulting, boring, derivative, ugly, key-dangling pile of nonsense slop.
Lightsaber.
Jimmy Smits!
Basil Oregano, played by Jimmy Smits. He's Princess Leia's non-biological father. He got blown up on Alderaan.
Alderaan!
That's the planet that gets blown up.
ATSTs, ATSTs.
C-3PO and R2-D2 showed up and I clapped.
I clapped when I saw them too.
I clapped because I know Star Wars.
I know what that is. This is Gold Leader. We're starting for the target shaft now.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Lightsaber.
Blue milk.
Lightsaber.
Star Destroyers, I'm gonna come.
Did you clap at any of the new moments and memorable characters?
Were there any?
No!
I clapped when Darth Vader turned on his red lightsaber.
Holy shit, there was a red lightsaber and he used the Force!
Oh my God!
Looking to get back in your type 2 diabetes zone? Once weekly Ozempic can help.
This show somehow managed to make lesbian space witches boring, which, as an avid reader and former writer of Star Wars fan fiction, I can assure you is no easy feat. Also, nice going, making the first major lesbian characters in Star Wars abusive parents. Also unrelated, but like the showrunner for this, or whatever position she has, like she used to work for like Harvey Weinstein, but like more importantly, she looks like fucking Minecraft Steve. Like I don't like to be this mean, but like I've literally never met someone with that square of a head before. Like it's actually like one of those Minecraft Steve in real life images. Like wow, it's actually kind of impressive. I actually have respect for it. Honestly, I think it's kind of cool. It's certainly a lot more impressive than the show. I know all 15 non-paid Shield fans of the show are pretty upset about the show being canceled right now and object to my bashing of said show. But I can assure you that they have every right to be wrong. But in all fairness, of all the critics of The Acolyte, the most vocal and most infamous is Star Wars Theory, who is currently making his own nightmarish AI slop Mandela catalog horror abominations. And of course, people got mad at this, and somewhat rightfully so, because of how horrible it is, and, ethics and all that shit. AI, people mad about AI. I made a whole video about people being mad at AI, and how my opinions on it are better than yours, and they're quite good. If I do say so myself, it's a very good video. Not a lot of people watched it. I think you should watch it. But not a lot of people will watch this video because I haven't uploaded in 3 months, and I don't really care. Odds are most people aren't even watching this far, and if you're still watching, I promise you, don't click off. I beg you. I have more funnies. I promise there'll be more funnies. But this guy, Star Wars Theory, he is puppeteering these people, dead people like Carrie Fisher, but Disney did it. No one had a problem when Disney did it. Well, I mean, some people had a problem. I had a problem. I still have a problem. But, most people go, oh, it's so impressive, new technology, holy shit. No. It's bad when he does it, but not when Disney's it. And I ran into one person who did this, and I have to show you this, because this is quite hilarious, I think. I'll show it right here. It's like this person, they're contacting Carrie Fisher from Beyond the Dead for her consent. You can't do that. But I can. And in fact, we are going to talk to Carrie Fisher right now. Carrie Fisher! Can you hear me? Are you there? I have to ask you If you consent to Star Wars Theory using your likeness with his AI slop abominations. Can you hear me? Please? I must know. I must know if you consent. If you consent to Disney using you for AI slop. But I need to know. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, Carrie Fisher has a message for you all. She says to rewatch Return of the Jedi and pay close attention to her fingernails. One of her fingernails is longer than all the others. It's her cocaine now. She uses it to snort cocaine. It's actually disgraceful, but you have to rewatch the movie because it's actually in there. It's disgraceful. But, you know, Star Wars Theory isn't very smart. Anyone who worships pedophile goat diddler Andrew Titties can't be. But I can't hate the guy. I just can't. He's so naive. Look at him. Look at the little guy. Playing with his little AI dolls again. I just want to pinch his little cheeks. His little... Oh wow, I really do. I really do now. Wow, that's okay. Yeah. Yes. But the guy's he's not too bright, but I'm no A-logger. Even Mark Hamill doesn't care, but of course that's because the only things Mark Hamill cares about are Donald Trump, Israel, and forcing people to have abortions. But Theory will watch this awful show. Theory and all his people who cry about the woke and the gays and the whatnots, whatever the fucks, the new norm. What's that? Progress. It's the new norm. And they'll watch the show and they say, wow, I can't believe it. They've ruined Star Wars. It's the worst it's ever been. They got Glupshido's age wrong. You can't do it. And that's their takeaway from the whole thing. They don't care. Like, the thing is, you show them a terrible show and they'll love it. They'll love it. And it's because they don't actually have any standards. Their standards revolve around nonsense nobody actually fucking cares about. And that's why they think Star Wars Theory thinks people would actually watch on Disney Plus his AI slop. It would get canceled faster than The Acolyte did. It would. And they don't understand what makes things bad and what makes things good. They can recognize things that are bad, but they can't do it for the right reasons. It's like a disorder. Soy Wars disorder. It's really sad, and I think one day we'll have a vaccine against it, but getting these people to take the vaccine probably would be far more difficult, so I'd say it was a waste of money. I don't think... It's more entertaining to leave them the way they are, I think. We love them, they're very special, and we'll take good care of them, just like we take good care of everyone else with the special mental problems that the Star Wars fans have. And, you know... One day when George Lucas is dead and they stop milking Star Wars because the next Acolyte show makes no money and Disney stops touching it, leaves it to rot like a dead carcass, we'll all come together and reminisce over the good times when people on the internet complained about Glupshido and his age. And it will be a beautiful moment, I think. And I think the most beautiful of all of these Star Wars fans, deluded Star Wars fans, I think the most beautiful of all, with the best story. You gotta see this for yourself. I'm just gonna show it to you. I'm not even going to say anything. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's Shakespearean. You have to see it.
Jesús, había subido la mano y encontré una paella. Y la encontré porque estaba la paellera agarrada metida entre las piedras de Chipiona, del faro. Y cuando entro en el restaurante me ve el cocinero con una paellera y adentro la vende paellera. ¡Asómate! ¡Mira dónde llega el agua! ¡Llegaba el agua hasta el restaurante! ¡Había subido la marea! ¡Jesús! ¡Hay que hacerlo ahora! ¡Con los dos sacos de arroz! ¡Ay! ¡Llama para Sevilla! ¡Llama a Sevilla que traigo paella!
Star Wars fans are, primarily responsible for the state of the franchise, I would say. But it's kind of all been said. Everything I wanted to say about that, I can't really say anymore because, I had this video in mind for a long time. But, of course, right before it comes out, Emperor Lemon, great YouTuber, who I pretty much have just spent the past few years just trying to emulate very poorly. I really suck, but actually, it's a funny story. The whole reason this channel exists is because people were telling me, Yeast, you should do what Implement did on his second channel. You should make ranked videos. And I said, maybe I will, because it'd be fun, and it'd be funny, and maybe it's true, but I don't know. Some people seem to like it, but Implement put out a fantastic video on the history of Jar Jar Binks and George Lucas and the Star Wars fans and how they are, and it's a fantastic video, and you should probably be watching that instead of watching this, but you might want to stay a little bit longer because the rest of this video, it's not going to be dedicated to complaining anymore. No, we're going to have happy times on this channel. We're going to have positivity. We're going to talk about things that I like with Disney Star Wars, things they're making that are good and that you can watch, or maybe some things I don't like too much, but I think are okay enough that other people might enjoy them more than I did. It's unthinkable, I know, but apparently, some people think there's too much negative people. They might say I'm an insane negative person, but we're going to be positive today, and we're going to start right now. So there's this one guy he worked on the show Andor. He did a lot of the special effects for Andor, which I think looks fantastic visually. Looks fantastic, and he is working on a edited version of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show with better special effects, which was the worst part of the Kenobi show, which I happen to like. And there's, the Kai Patterson film edit, which if you haven't watched, you should. This series, it was originally supposed to be a movie, and it works so much better as a movie. You can tell the people working on it were trying to make a movie, and, it wasn't perfect, but you have this film edit, and so that vision can kind of be seen in it. But you might want to wait until this new version, which is based off of the Kai Patterson version, if I remember correctly. Pixel Joker 95 is the guy working on this. And he worked on Andor, and everyone loves Andor. I couldn't get through it. I thought it was okay. I liked the visuals, but it's really not that thing. You can probably tell from earlier in the video, I hate Rogue One. I went to go see Rogue One in theaters, and I fell asleep, and I was only awoken because my mother, who went to see the movie with me at the time, she was horrified of Darth Vader, and she screamed. That was what I remember of that movie. It's the movie I remember because my mom is the one who screamed in the movie theater, and it's funny, but what's not fun? That movie. I don't want to watch it again. But back to Andor. I think my thoughts on Andor can be summed up as follows. I did not care for Andor.
What?
Did not care for Andor. How can you even say that, Yeast? Didn't like it. It's like the perfect show. That's what everyone always says. This is like the perfect show. Luna, Guinevere O'Reilly, Stellan Skarsgård. Fine actor. Didn't like the show. What didn't you like about it? It insists upon itself. What? It insists upon itself. What does that even mean? It takes forever getting in. You spend about 2 or 3 episodes, and I can't even finish the show. I can't even finish it. You've never seen the end. I agree with middle pipe falling sound effect. It's not really fair. Look, I get to the part of the show where the guy gets crushed by the Bitcoin scene. At every angle. I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like they're speaking a different... that's where I was interested in the show. The language they're speaking is a language of subtlety, something that you wouldn't understand. I like Star Wars Rebels as my answer to that question. Whatever. I like that TV show, too. Kai Patterson, he's also... he did the Obi-Wan that I talked about earlier, but he's also doing a film edit of Ahsoka, that show, which I thought was okay. I feel like a lot of the issue with that show comes from it being Dave Filoni's first live-action project. Reportedly, George Lucas encouraged him to do it, as a challenge, get out of your comfort zone. I feel like a lot of the issues with that show come from that, because, there are parts of the show that look really, really rough, but it's not for a lack of effort. In fact, it's because of the effort. Going from animation to live action, it's difficult. But, I feel like when season 2 comes around, I think that there will be a significant improvement. But because the parts of that show that were good were really good. I feel like it didn't really rely on fan service too much. I mean, the Hayden Christensen Force Ghost at the end was a bit too much, but I mean, I like the episode where, he's in, the Glupshido world or whatever, but I haven't seen the film edit of Ahsoka yet, because I don't think it's out. I think he's almost done with it, and I'll have to watch it and see if it's any good. But another thing, there's, this guy, High Ground Animation, he's working on a Clone Wars short film. It looks fantastic. I'll put some footage of it here. It looks fantastic. It's not done yet, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at this shit. Look at this shit. It's fantastic. It looks official. And it's not official. It's just a guy. I think it's just a guy. It's fantastic. And I admire it a great bit. It's good. There's all sorts of fan edits. I love, looking into Star Wars fan edits. So there's websites that, that have them listed out. You can find them, the actual edits on the Internet Archive or some shit, someone's Google Drive. Just scour Reddit enough, and you'll find it. You can find all sorts of shit on there. And if you don't like the official stuff that Disney's making, there's always fan-made stuff. And then there's you can do fan fiction. I dabbled in that for a long time. You can do fan fiction. In fact, I actually plan on going back. I plan on doing rewrites of the sequel trilogy. It's something I've had floating in my head for a very long time, and I want to. I'll make videos about it on this channel, but years and years away. I got too many other projects lined up, and I'm a chronic procrastinator. But I think that the ideas are good. I've talked to a lot of people about the ideas, getting some input. I think the people I talk to say that ideas are really good. And I haven't written, Star Wars fan fiction type shit in a very, very long time. I was a lot younger. And thank God that all that stuff is gone, probably. So if... I don't even know where it is anymore, or what fucking shit website it's on. I couldn't find it if you put a gun in my head. But, it's about time. This video is way too long anyway, and I got to get back to, doing something actually useful with my time, so I'm just going to leave it there. Good night, and, actually, I didn't get interrupted this time. This is, the first video on this channel where I didn't get interrupted. It's actually quite nice. And we like that. Goodbye.